Hello Doraemons, welcome back. So for this video, I'm going to solve a Java question live. So let's get started. I've already posted the basic structure you need to follow to solve any Java question. Make sure you check that before watching this because I've explained like what is the basic structure you need to follow and how that works. Once you watch that video, this part will be very clear to you, but if not, I'll also explain some details so that you can have some idea on what it is exactly. So before even going to the main class, the first thing we have to do is do this parameterized constructor. So you guys know what is a constructor. A constructor is something which executes automatically once your function is called. So the first part is we have to declare our object class, and you guys know why we have to declare an object class. So this is object class is like your family house, like 4 to 5 people live in your house, and by using your names you're called out like that. So it's same like your family house, and we are going to like get one family house for set of objects. Like usually how we'll get the output is, as you can see, there will be 5 outputs in one set, and that set's definition is given here in this place: theta, number, id, string, like this. And first thing we have to do is declare a class object. So class object, and we put a parenthesis. After that we have to just declare these 5 things inside it using the data types. So int t number and string of t name and int of t capacity and int of t rate and string of type t type. So you can give any variable names you want, right? I've given just t of their names. And next part is to declare a constructor with all these values. So just copy paste these values, and instead of separating them by a semicolon, you have to separate them using a comma. And after that, just I'm doing it real quick. After doing this, we are going to just give them names. So yeah, we're almost done. And now moving on to the next part, open your curly braces, and in this place you'll be giving this dot name. So this dot tnum is equal to tnum. So you guys know what this is. You're assigning this to this. So whenever in this main function hereafter, it will not be referenced by tnum, it is referenced by this dot tnum, and this will be replaced by something I'll tell you in this place. And I'm going to just declare these things right here. Just this dot t name is equal to t name, and this dot t cap. Here you don't have to worry about the data types because it is already given in the top place. This dot t rate is equal to t rate, and the last one is this dot t type is equal to t type, and that's it. So this part is the object structure. First you have to declare. So once this is done, the rest of the part is really easy. Another question they've asked for getter and setter class. So if you're well versed, you can do that, but it is not necessary and it is too time consuming. As you can see, this total duration of this video will be the total time to solve this, but if you setter and getter, it may require some more time, and you have to handle those functions too. So make sure you keep the code simple so that you don't have to worry about other functions and all. So now moving on, so for this question we have to declare like 2 functions. One is get theater capacity and another one is get second lowest theater rating. So that we are going to do, and this method will take an array of, okay, so let's move on to the sample input and output, and let's understand what they have given. So first is we have that 5 set of values. Let's count how many set of value is given. So this is the first set which has the number, name, capacity, rate, and type. And this is the second set with the same 5 values, and this is the third set, and this is the fourth set. And after this they are given these 2 values, which is like inputs, parameters, which we'll be using as parameters. So in total we have 4. So moving on to the main class. So first we are going to declare the scanner class. Scanner s is equal to new scanner, and inside this we have to put system.in. So after this we also have to declare an object array. So this object array will only hold like 2 to 3 values in one single place. So how do we do that is make sure you keep these object class and object function names similar, because we'll be using that name only. So object of, you put the array brackets and then give it a name, and new object, and like you have to give the same number, like how many times here you got, like 4 times 4 set of values, so give the same number 4. And we are going to pass this as input. So how we usually will get input is using a for loop. So for int I equal to 0, I less than 4, and I plus plus, and we are going to get all these values. So first is number. We can use different names here because after this main for part, this names is not going to be used anywhere, but make sure you keep the name similar so that you can identify what it is. So instead what I've given is, before every variable name I've given t in the object class, as you can see. Here I'm going to give them without a t. So just num is equal to, and you have to put the data type for sure. So int of num, or you can just copy paste the same thing, but you have to remove the t. Okay, and first is an integer, so we are going to use s dot next int. And as I said in the last video, here next int will get only the input, and it will wait in the same line. It will wait in the same line to get the next input. But whereas in our input, the next input is in the next line, so we have to move to the next line. So for that we'll use s dot next line, and it is the same for every other. Next is string. So next string is name, and I'm just going to give s dot next line. You can copy paste it like how many times or whichever you want, because we'll not make mistake if we copy paste. And next is the capacity, and it is of type integer, so I'm just going to use this part. Usually copy pasting is not a good practice, but in your exams you have to save a lot of time so that you can do other things peacefully. So it is okay to copy paste in this part alone. And next is string of type, it is type, and we're just going to put next line. That's it. And after this we have 2 more inputs in the input part, which one is the number and another one is the type. So we'll get that also. Here I'm just going to int no is equal to s, already copy paste. Okay, and s dot next line, as we have one more input in the next line, and the next one is a string. It is a type, so I'm just giving t, and s dot next line. So one more thing, if you have like if as it is string over here in the last I've given s dot next line, if you have like any integer, you don't have to give s dot next line in that case. If you give also, like there is no if you give, what will happen means it will go to the next line and wait for one more input. So that's, we don't want that to happen, and it will pop up sometime error, and it won't be recognized at that moment when you're writing exam. So whenever it ends with a number, make sure you don't put this next line in that place alone. If it is ending with a string, then there is no problem. And one more thing, we have got all the inputs, but we have to add these sets to the object, these inputs to the object set. So how do we add it? Just like how you append to an array, what you want to do is we have to give like O of I is equal to new object, and we are going to pass all these values right here in this place, which is num, only the variable names, cap, rate, and type. That's it. So now we have got all the inputs. The next step is to declare the functions. So first thing you have to do is you have to get out of this main function. So I'll usually use this trick. I'll click on this curly braces and it will show me where it ends. So now move on to the next line and declare one function, public static int fun1, and let's leave this like this. And inside this function you're going to create, you have to call those two functions. So only if you call those two functions, those will execute. So first, to call it, I'm going to give like one variable int.g is equal to fun1, and let's see what we have to pass here. And also I'll declare one more thing, which is for fun2. So now let's read the function definition. So this is the flow you have to have. So first is object class and then getting the inputs, and after getting the inputs, then read the function definition. So first of what you should do, here they have given two functions. This is the get capacity method. This method will take an array of data objects, which is O. So array of data objects which we have is O, and also an int value as an input parameter. An int value is nothing but this NO which we got extra. This method will return the capacity of the data from an array of data object for the given data number. So here in the input they have given one data number, as you can see 103, and we have to like get the capacity and the type, the capacity of the data and the type of the data. So here for 103, so that's what we are going to get actually. And let's start it. So here I'm going to just pass this number, and for the fun2, let's read for fun2. So for fun2, it is get second lowest data rating. So they'll be giving you a movie type. So here in the input, you can see they have given like one type, which is also given in the data types, and we have to find the data which has the second greatest rating. So let's find that too. Now what we are going to do, second greatest rating, correct? Okay, no, it's second lowest rating. So we are going to get the second lowest ratings for that data. So what we are going to do here, also we are going to pass the object number and also the string which we got, t. And here in this function place you have to also give the data types. So object and of O, and you're going to give that number. So I'm just giving as NU or NM, that would be fine. And we are going to iterate through the list first. So for int I is equal to 0 and I less than 4 and I plus plus. Now we are going to like put, if we have to compare the number, so O of I dot t num is equal to that num which is passed in the input. Then we are going to print the type and the capacity. So O of I, the capacity is stored in t cap. So here we will not be using the names given over in this main function, we'll be using the names given here. So here I've given the capacity as t cap, so I'll be using t cap. And in the next line, so to get it in the next line, I'm going to give /n, and we have to print the type. So O of I dot type. So now let's pass the input and let's see. I'm going to pass this input. Hopefully it didn't show any error. It should not. Let's see. So I'm just going to run it. Oops, it showed an error. Okay, so here I didn't put the data type, so that is the error. And here I didn't give the semicolon. So let's fix that. Here the data type is integer. And now let's run and see it. Interface, yes. So as I told in the last video, you might remember, a function should always return a number, so which we are given int here. So if it doesn't give, it will show you this error. And when you see this error while in the writing your exam, you will not even understand what is going on, like that. So make sure you put return 1 in the end once you create a function. So now let's see it. It is still showing this error. Let's check whatever I missed. Okay, I see like there is something missing. Yeah, okay. And this is this function's end, and this, okay, so I placed it in the wrong place. So it should be here, return 1. And now let's run and see it. Still there is one extra braces. Yeah, so this is the extra one. So now I'm just running it. Yeah, so now we got new errors. Let's fix these two. So this is t type, and here it has something, can't find symbol. So I've not yet declared fun2, so that's why this error is popping out. And let's fix these two things. Here I've just given string and not given name in the function2. So let's declare the function2 also. So here I've got it in the name of t. So after declaring function2, so here in this place, out of this function, so this is the end of this function, I'm going to declare one more function, which is fun2, public static int and fun2. And after that you're going to put object, oops, and give o. And after that we are going to pass a string, and that name is going to be type, so I'm going to give just ty. And whenever you write, just put return 1. Okay, and in one place I have to fix one more thing, I guess. So now let's run and see it if anything pops out. Static, okay, spelling mistake. This happens, guys. Now run it. Ooh. And yeah, I've still not fixed this, and this is capital S. So here in this place it should be capital S, and here I should give it as T type. Okay, now hopefully it should run. This has, okay, so I've made a lot of mistakes this time. System.out.println. Okay, so now I'm just running it. Yeah, finally it has given me a type. And okay, so here they have given like luxury. Just check the function definition. This will take an array of data objects, and it will return the capacity of the data from an array object from the given theta number. So now along with the theta capacity, I think we have to print the name actually. So here 102, and here it is given as a luxury, because this 4M luxury, and here it is given as 4M luxury. So this part is coming from the second function. So here we should remove this type and we have to only print the capacity. So I'm just deleting this part, and now we are going to go for one more thing which is given mentioned here in the first function, which is here they have given if no theta with the given theta number is present, then it has to return 0. But in the sample input and output, they have given like print theta number is incorrect. So we are going to do that. So for that, I'm going to declare one small variable, which is int of r is equal to 0, and I'm going to increment this here in this place when like a value or something is getting printed. And in this part, coming out of the for loop, if r is equal to 0, if it still remains 0, then we are going to print system.out.println. We are going to print theta number is incorrect. So let's print that. So this is first part of the function. Now moving on to the second part, what we are going to do is this. I've declared this function, and first let's read the function definition. What we have to do in this part, it should print the theater name and the theater rating. So it should print the theater name and theater rating, and it should be the second lowest theater rating, which is of type movie. So now let's iterate. So for int I is equal to 0 and I less than 4 and I plus plus. So first thing, we have to add the theater ratings of type movie. So first we have to find the theaters which also of type movie. So if O of I dot T type, we have to compare it strings, and it should be case insensitive. So here I'm using equals ignore case, and here I'm going to put that ty. If s, then I'm going to declare an array and I'm going to get the values. Okay, so now for I'm going to declare one array int arr is equal to new int, and keep the number as same, like keep it as same. We don't know how many datas of type movie will pop up. So I'm just going to declare one more variable like j. Int of j is equal to 0, and I'm going to use this as an index value for this array arr. So now arr of j, initially it is 0, is equal to O of I dot T rate. So I'm just going to add the rate and I'm going to sort it, and I'm going to find the second lowest rating, and again I'll iterate to the list to find the name. So now, or we can do one more thing, I'll tell you later. So now we'll have an array of only the T rate, which is of type movie. Now I'm going to just sort it. For sorting it, I'm going to use arrays dot sort of array, and like in this part you may have like options. As we have declared 4, there are some leading zeros in the array. So if I just print and show you, you may understand. So for I is equal to 0 and I less than 4 and I plus plus, and I'm going to just print system.out here. I'm just taking it from here, and inside this I'm just going to put arr of I, and let's run and see it. Whatever values we have, now I'm just running it. Oh no, it again like started to pop up a lot of error. Let's see. Array new int j any array required but int found. Oops, we missed the bracket. So that is the reason. So whenever you find this error like expected array and getting an int, this bracket is missed. Yeah, as you can see, it is taken 0 0 0 and 2. So we have to get only movie, and here we have 1 2 and 3 movies, and it has taken only 2, so we have to fix something here. So of j, yes, so why? Because here in the 0th place only I've taken the value because I've given j as 0 and I didn't increment the value here. So these are some of the mistakes which you may encounter too. So j plus plus, and I think now it will have like 3 values, 2 4 and 5, whereas the first one is still 0. So if we sort it, actually it has been sorted in order, but if we give like second value, it will get take only 2, but it is the least. So what I'm going to do is, some may like think of removing the leading zeros, but it is not required. So instead, what I'm going to do to make it simple and clear is, again I'm going to iterate through the list, and here I'm going to just put, if a of I is not, if it is equal to 0, like the first thing is equal to 0, then I'm going to give as continue. Okay, and if not, then else. Like if it is not the thing, then I'm going to like declare a small variable here to store the val, and in this place I'm going to store that. So val is equal to arr of I plus 1. So now what will happen in the sense, I'll just print the value here also to show you guys. I'm just going to put a1 of plus 1. And now let's run and see it. Again, and okay, here we have declared as ARR, so that is the problem. And now I'm just running it. We have only 4 and 5, so after like getting one amount, like one value, we are going to break this entire thing. So after getting one, just break it. Now this val will have only one value, so the val should have 4, and this will also print only 4. Now let's run it. Okay, so now it should run. The semicolons, this mistake is repeating, guys. Do you guys also face the same issue while writing the Java code? Because it has been a little long for me to write this Java code. So it's making a lot of mistakes. This happens. Okay, now we got only 4. Now we are going to again iterate to the list and found which stator has the rating, and we are going to print the name. So now let's just do that. So now we have the val value. I'm just going to remove this part. So here after this 4, okay, so again I'm iterate through the list. So for int I is equal to 0 and I less than 4 and I plus plus, we are again iterating through the object list. So if O of I dot t rate, the rate is equal to val, then we are going to print the name and the ratings. So here I'm just going to take this, it's easy to reuse. We are going to print only the name, which is O of I dot t name, and the next one should come in the next line. So I'm just giving /n, and O of I dot O of I dot the rate. So T rate. Okay. So now let's run and see it. Yes, so now we got the exact value, which is 200, luxury, and 4. So that's the output. And for this also we have one more exceptional case, which is if nothing is found with this name, then we have to again like print no, nothing is found. So here just put if nothing is found, or if that type is not available itself, this array will be empty and those things will happen. So what we are going to do is just I'm going to use val, is if val is equal to 0, as we have declared over there in the top, then I'm going to just print no such data. Let me just copy paste it, and that's it. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it because I solved it on totally live, and it has been a lot of like mistakes and error clearing. So I think you guys explored about 2 more new errors which you may encounter when you're like expecting like return 1 and some string values. Those things were also there, and this code and this question will be available in my blog post down below. You can check that. This will be out once you were seeing this video at this right time. It will be like posted. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. If yes, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video right now, and comment down like how you felt about this video, and did you solve this question in the IRA also. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Until then, this is your very own Doraemon signing off. Keep learning, keep rocking. I'll meet you in the next one. Bye. Cheers.